Welcome back to the off cycle. I got another update here with the Pursuit 2270 transom rebuild. I've got the center panel all glassed in on the interior skin of the panel, and just today I started the grinding, pretty much completed with the grinding on the exterior skin that's going to go back on, grinding in the taper, trying to get as close to a 12-to-1 taper as I can. But I'm not going to quite get 12-to-1, but there's so much seam for such a fairly small piece that I don't think the 12-to-1 is really going to be super necessary. Just the way this transom is designed, I think what I have is going to be just fine. So I'll flip around and show you what I've got. So this is the panel that was glassed in last time, the port side panel. That one has been done, and today the center panel got glassed in. There was a small gap right here, so I think it was 3 layers of 1708, laid it up, and then a board was put on here, and then it was clamped to get a nice press, nice clean fit. Then obviously the seams were done on what will be the interior of the transom, and once that was done and pretty much set up, it came back inside and actually filled all the seams on the inside with some thickened resin, and then glassed over that with 2 more layers. So this interior here will just get sanded down, and then new gel coat applied once everything is all ready to go, and the transom is filled and everything like that. But it's looking pretty good so far. And this right here is not really going to require much finishing at all. I thought I was going to have to do maybe a little bit of body work, but you know, this is the bilge. It's unfinished. So by the time this gets sanded down and gel coated, you know, I'm really never even going to be able to tell it was done. It's going to pretty much just look like it was from the factory. It may be cleaner. That's maybe the only way you'd be able to tell, because it maybe look a little bit cleaner, but it's going to look stock. What I did for the exterior panel, that skin that's going to go back on, this is just shy of like 3/8, somewhere between like 1/4 inch and 3/8. So what I did is I measured in about like 2 1/4 inches and marked it with tape, and then I basically just used my 60 grit flap wheel to grind up to the tape. Obviously it takes some of the tape away, but kind of where this edge is originally where the tape was, and I'll probably leave this on there, so when I'm glassing, I'll have tape that'll be able to, when I overlap or get anything on this, I'll be able to pull the tape up after that. I may do a new layer of tape since I did spray this off. This got wet. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I have, you can kind of see there is a taper, so it does get thinner. I thought about maybe tabbing this in, kind of doing a few sections on the actual hull itself and tabbing this back in and getting it all squared, and then going back in and actually grinding my taper on the hull itself with this on there. That way both those tapers I can kind of go back and forth. But since I've ground this, I'm worried that I will end up bumping this too much and grind through it. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and grind the taper on the hull and then tab it in on a few spots, and then go back through and just kind of do a final grind just to blend everything in, so that the tapers kind of match themselves and have a good transition for glassing. So the next step tomorrow will be to continue on the grind on the actual hull itself, and get that tapered out to about 2 1/4, 2.5 inches or so. I do still have some areas very thin, like 1 single layer, even half layer. I got up here, it's kind of thick here. Over here I have some. This is actually not even plywood, it's just the impression of the plywood. There's a little bit of here on the corner, but I do have to go ahead and grind that off as well. I'm gonna hit it with the pressure washer tomorrow and see how much comes off, but I do need to grind all that off as well, because that will be the interior of the transom, and I don't want any wood in there to absorb any moisture and rot out and leave air pockets. And it'll prevent good lamination to the skin. So I'm getting this, I'm going to be glassing the skin back before I do my pour. That way I have really good lamination. So this skin itself just laminated to the pour as it cures. Should be more than enough to hold it on there. And then the fiberglass really is just kind of covering the seam. I went ahead and sprayed this off so you can see it a little better, but you do see the areas of wood that I need to grind down. Most are very, very thin, and I think a lot of this will just go ahead and chisel right out with my little stainless steel flat bar that I ground to a chisel. And then the pressure washer will probably take most of the big chunks.